So let's clear something up really quick. Field inspection is not hard in the way that people think it is or imagine it to be, meaning it's not physically intense. It is not that type of physical work. It's not complicated. It's really not. And it's not over the top emotionally, or shall I say, keeping you emotionally strained. What it is a mentally steady position. It will require you to be able to mentally be on point all the time. And if you understand that, this work actually makes a lot more sense. So now let's talk about the work itself and how it's straightforward. The tasks are simple. So let me explain. And this is what you do every day, all right? You inspect, you document, and you report. That's it. That is literally all you do. You're not solving any mysteries, and you're not inventing anything at all, which is exactly why people underestimate this job. They hear straightforward and they think, oh, this is easy, right? Right? A lot of you have probably come in here before earlier that have been doing inspections for a minute, and you thought it was going to be easy breezy, and you realize that there are things, or shall I say obstacles, that you have to overcome when it comes to being an inspector. It is not just this easy breezy until you really get to know your job. Well, straightforward and easy does not equal to the same thing. I'm going to say that again. Being straightforward and being easy does not equal to the same thing. It would be more accurate to call it consistent. And consistency hits people more different than being difficult does. And that's for sure. So let me explain to you exactly what I mean. The job itself requires you to stay mentally present for long stretches of time, even when nothing exciting is happening at all. Same song, same dance, every single day, even when every property feels the same, and most of the time they will. Even when you've done everything the exact same way hundreds of times over and over. So what's happening in these moments? Because you're not stressed. You are not overwhelmed. You're just, what's the word? You're on. Yeah. It's a constant flow all the time. And being on all day takes energy, even if the work does feel simple. Before we go on, I'd like to mention something that I've started for the field inspection community, and it is called Field Inspector Roundtable. It's a small live Zoom discussion that will take place every second and fourth Wednesday of each month, where field inspectors can come together and talk about real life situations that they run across every day while out in the field, ask questions, and share experiences. You can vent a little if you so choose to, and just connect with other inspectors who understand the actual work. Now, this is not a class or any formal training. It's meant to be a fun, relaxed conversation where inspectors can feel free to talk openly. And nothing is really off the table when it comes to the reality of this job. Now, seats are intentionally limited so the discussion stays small and so that everyone has a chance to participate. And since this is a group discussion, each session will require a minimum amount of participants. So if a particular roundtable doesn't match that number, everyone who registered will automatically roll over into the next session. So if you'd like to join in on any of those discussions, you can find the details in the description below. Now this part is especially for the new inspectors. Every inspection comes with this little question in your head, and that is, did I get enough? Did I get enough pictures? Did I get enough documentations? Did I ask the right questions? You're always wondering. So it's always that question, did I get enough? And that question can follow you while you're walking all the properties, while you're uploading photos, and especially while you're submitting those reports. And it's not because anything is wrong, it's just because you're responsible for your own work. So you're engaging the whole time, from start to finish. Every day, once again, you're engaging from start to finish the whole time, every day, all day. You're not anxious, you're not any of those things, you're just aware. And that can add up over a whole entire day. I do know that for certain. A lot of jobs come with built-in support. You know what I mean. Co-workers, feedback, someone saying, yeah, you did good. You know, a lot of people like that pat on the back. Well, I'm here to tell you that field inspection does not work like that. You do the work, you submit it, and then you move on to the next. There is no applause for your work. There's no debriefing at the job. A lot of you are familiar with those debriefs that they have early in the morning when you first start on some types of jobs, when you go in the conference room and everybody talk, or you do a quick little huddle and talk about the work for the day, or after the work is over in the evening time or whatever, and whenever they have those little debriefing moments. There is no debriefing at your job and no real emotional processing at all, which is fine as long as you understand that when you go into this. Because otherwise, people start thinking the work is easy, so why am I tired? And the answer is usually because you're carrying everything internally. Because like I said before, there are no co-workers. There is no feedback. There is none of that. And guess what? That's normal for this type of work. There are a few tricks that can actually help you to stay focused and less drained. And if you want help with that part, I do have digital downloads, resources all over on dmichelle.com. They are there for you if you need them. Wear and tear. Let's talk about how mental wear actually shows up in this sort of work, because it doesn't show up as a full burnout and completely take over. It shows up more subtle. It's one of those subtle things. I'm sure some of you can probably relate to what I'm saying. You start procrastinating a little. You start putting off reports, and you normally wouldn't do that at all, ever. You start second guessing if this is really right for you in the first place. The feeling of being irritated for no reason at all. All right? A lot of you do that, and you've experienced it. If you aren't doing it now, you may experience it later, so that's why I'm mentioning it. You're avoiding work that you used to jump at. And now you're thinking that something's wrong with you. But it's not that. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just the rhythm of being independent and the repetitive work, which is what field inspection is. So your brain may just be simply asking you to pace yourself just a little bit. That's all. So now let's talk about the people who succeeds in this. The people who last in this industry usually learn a couple of things, okay? To do the work without overthinking it at all, to correct their mistakes without beating themselves up. You make a mistake, you don't be all in your head and thinking, woe is me, and what happened, and I don't understand, and why are they sending my paperwork back, and what happened. No, you take the criticism, constructive criticism that comes to you from the QC when they send your work back, and you learn from whatever it was that you did. You make notations of it if you have to. I have notebooks because this is something that I normally did, and I would write down whatever it was that I made a mistake at, because when I do it again, when I go out again into the field, I do not want to make those same mistakes over and over again, because then it's going to look as though what? as though you can't learn. Or maybe even worse, you don't care, right? Right? So correct your mistakes without beating yourself up. They stay steady instead of riding these emotional highs and lows. Ooh, and let me tell you, they do come. A lot of times you're emotionally high. Sometimes those lows hit, and when they hit, they can hit a little hard. How are you going to be productive when you have that going on? You have to learn to stay steady regardless of the fact. They don't need no job to excite them. See, that's a problem too, because there's a lot of people who can't seem to do anything unless it brings them excitement. I know people who have quit jobs because the job was not exciting to them. This job is so boring. I got to find me something else to do. Well, sometimes you can end up doing some sort of work on your own and realize that it's lonely. You could be bored. You don't even know how to manage all of those feelings, let alone just managing doing your actual job yourself in the first place. Being independent takes work, and it's more than just the physical part of things. And they also just need to make sure that they are able to show up for themselves each and every day. People who succeed in this do not need a job to excite them. They just need it to feel manageable. Okay, and once you get there, this job actually becomes livable. Field inspection isn't hard because it's complex. It is mentally wearing because it asks for you to be steady and for you to stay focused all the time, for you to remain emotionally neutral, and for you to be a what? Because I've mentioned this before in several videos, to be a self-regulator and to be able to stay consistent without any external structures. You know, like a 9 to 5. If you respect that instead of fighting it, the job does become more sustainable. It's not perfect. And I can say that it's not perfect in any form of the word at all. And of course, we know it's not glamorous, okay? But it can be very doable. And for the right person, actually pretty peaceful. I know I'm peaceful for sure.